welcome. This is your boy, the host with the most, but humble. And I do mean humble, D Nostradamus, aka Derek, and I'm here, of course, on a Monday to give you the hungry, happy, healthy people here at WrestleCram, of course. The Tag In. This is episode 6 of the Tag In. If you're watching it today, you're watching it tomorrow, you're watching it next week, I truly do thank you from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my loins. I truly do thank you. Without you guys, it truly wouldn't be me. Trust me. I'm humbled out each and every single time I do this or whatnot. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this show. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. If you don't forget, I did do the Backlash. I did the Backlash review. That is Saturday. I did that. Also, don't forget, on Sunday, I did post the new feed for the new questions. Ton of questions. Lots of good questions. Lots of great questions, you guys. Keep them coming. You have until Wednesday to give me those questions so I can read them on and give you answers to those questions. Also, do not forget, I do have a Facebook group club. It is called WrestleCram Super Club. WrestleCram Super Club. Do not forget that we have that as well. Go out there, subscribe, have a great time over there. It is not private. Anybody can join. Anybody can have a great time there as well. Now, let's talk about, of course, the Tag In. Today, the Tag In is going to be about Drew Macintyre. And the update on what's going on with him. Also, we do have Thunder Rosa and how she looks at wrestling in a different aspect. Also, we're going to talk about, in the Tag In segment, Jungle Boy and him being not a face or whatnot in real life. And also, we're going to talk about, of course, the WWE draft and just some little points on why I think it was not good. We'll talk about that as well. Like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's talk about Drew Macintyre first. This is from WrestleZone.com. WrestleZone.com. Don't forget to go check out WrestleZone.com. This is a Fightful Select. Fightful Select has provided more updates on Drew Macintyre and his future with the WWE. It was widely believed that his contract is set to expire very early 2024, and this is before, you guys, WrestleMania 40. The report indicates that Macintyre is very undecided on his future at this time and is not sure that he's ultimately happened. It happened. It was said that it said that he operates under the assumption that that WrestleMania 39 could very be his last one. McIntyre is said that to be open, exploring the options outside of WWE, but would be willing to leave the door open to come back to the WWE at some point in the future. As reported over the past months, McIntyre has been dealing with some injuries, but was admitted to everyone who has asked that he could continue working through WrestleMania last month. McIntyre was one of the several superstars on the main roster who did not learn about his WWE draft plans until it was announced on television. Drew said to be very hands-on his creative direction, and with speculations that there have been pitched for him to return as a heel, he is likely to push back and ensure that he's sure to push back and make sure that the creative makes sense. Talent has spoken with Fightful and said that they are not sure how WWE deals with Endeavor will affect future contract negotiations. WWE has a different approach to renewing deals in the past few years. I will say this as well. a lot of people, CM Punk said it as well, and I know y'all hate when I talk about CM Punk, but when CM Punk was a face, his merch literally flew off the shelves, right? CM Punk said he hated turning heel. Number one, he was a fighting champion, and when you're a fighting champion, you're not really a heelish type of person. And number two, you're not when you're a face, you sell way more merch than you were a heel. And when he said that when he became heel in that long stint of him being champion, he said that his merch sales really declined and dropped off. And I think that's kind of the same thing with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, they did pitch him to be a heel. He's like, no, I'm good without being a heel. And, I mean, it just doesn't sit right with Drew McIntyre anyway, being that he is a fighter. He likes to fight. Usually, and like I said, usually heels are the ones that don't like to wrestle. They're kind of standalone-ish or whatnot. Unless you're Gunther. Gunther, he started off as a heel, and he still is a heel, and he's a great person. He beats people clean. But Drew is a different breed when it comes to anything like that. I understand that he wants to explore things outside of the company, which is a smart thing. I mean, the thing is, people make way more money, apparently, outside of the company when you are as huge as a Punk or a McIntyre, or even now we may get a huge payday with Goldberg. So it seems like a very interesting thing, a very smart move or whatnot. And he did say that he will leave the door open for a comeback in the future. So, I mean, I guarantee that home will be WWE, regardless of the situation. Home will be WWE, and it's okay to go and check out more opportunities, because there are opportunities in wrestling, and it's a good thing that we have options or whatnot. So it's great. It's great to do that. I love Drew McIntyre. I respect Drew McIntyre wherever he goes. If he goes to if he stays in the WWE, it'll be good. If he goes out to other organizations, it will be great as well. Much love to that guy. But the thing is, they need to figure out what's going on, because apparently his contract ends in the beginning of 2024. WrestleMania is in, what is it, in May? Is it April? So you got to figure out something, or extend that contract out until April, so he can have his last WrestleMania moment, and see what happens with that situation. Because when it expires, he does not have to give out a 3-month situation. He can go and do whatever he wants right then, right there, after that contract expires. So you need to figure out what's going on, see what we can see what WWE can do, or Endeavor can do to extend that contract out until WrestleMania 40. Huge. I mean, it's 40. It's number 40. So I mean, come on, really. So let's go from there. Let's go from there to Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa looks at wrestling a different way after being sidelined with injuries. Once again, this is from WrestleZone as well. Don't forget to go check out WrestleZone, you guys. Thunder Rosa continues to learn and evolve with wrestling knowledge after being sidelined with a serious back injury. AEW wrestler Thunder Rosa recently sat down with Dominic D'Angelo, and added it is the ad-free show to discuss a wide variety of subjects. When asked about her time away from the ring right now due to injury, Rosa reveals that she learned so much over the 9 months being in a different role in the outside of the ring. Thunder Rosa quotes. This is a quote from Thunder Rosa saying that, "I cannot tell you how much I've learned in the 9 months being in another role for professional wrestling, because I'm more critical of things." Thunder Rosa continues and says, "Now I see that things can work uh, what things doesn't work as a fan, as a wrestler, critic, as a wrestling critic, and as a radio host. She also says, this is all quotes, I have to look at everything in a different way. That forces me when I return to really pay attention to selling and telling a story, to really work with your partner and to create a great story and elevate each other, which is very important. So I have learned so much. I can go on and on. When asked, of course, about her friendship with Dustin Rhodes and him probably having one big run on the top of the card in All Elite Wrestling, Rosa spoke about how much the Natural has done for the business, but doesn't get credit for it. And this is Thunder Rosa speaking again. She says, I think he has done so much for the business. I mean, so much. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves, and he's such a good worker. Thunder Rosa continues and says that there were a couple of matches. I think the one that stood out for me was the one when Punk had an open challenge, and I remember the storytelling of that was like spot on, old school wrestling, and the people were going insane. I remember being glued to that. It was like the opening spot. It was basic classic. It was basically a classic. What they teach you in school and how you do it would, and how you call for the fans to do a certain thing, and just very little substance, right? And Dustin is really good at that, and I just don't feel like he had, besides probably the match with his brother, she calls it the blood match. He hasn't had the opportunity to really do what he wanted to do in the ring. That was her quotes, and I will say that it was very lengthy. She talks about, of course, other people as well, but I just wanted to stop it right there with that situation. Now, Thunder Rosa, a very controversial wrestler, but I wouldn't say she's controversial. She's just real. I mean, she's just a real person. There is a story where she may not even come back due to how bad her back is. But, we give love to where love is. She talks about Dustin, and I myself, I've seen Dustin wrestle in the 80s, where he was really, really good. Was it the 80s, early 90s, where he was really, really good. Did a great job as Stardust. The gimmick itself wasn't the best gimmick, but he did a great job with that gimmick. No disrespect to the gimmick, but when he was wrestling for at the time WCW, he was a great wrestler. When he was just Dustin Rhodes, he was a really great wrestler, and I understand exactly what Thunder Rosa is talking about. Now let's get to the top of that article, where she's talking about, of course, her looking at wrestling from a different perspective, and now her looking and observing and making sure that everything is okay. I think Thunder Rosa was probably the best wrestler on the card in AEW. That's just me saying that Thunder Rosa was the best female wrestler on the card. It is great to humble yourself, but and I'm not even mad at her for humbling herself. But Thunder Rosa was a great wrestler. She is a great wrestler. She's really great on the mic as well. When she does come back, she will fill that hole that is going on in the WWE. WWE and AEW. Her and Chris Statlander will feel that void when they come back. If Thunder Rosa does come back, because it is still up in the air. But I understand that, her looking and critiquing it from the other side will help her grow as not only a person, but as a wrestler as well. It's a very smart move to look at things in that sort of way. Much love to Thunder Rosa. Hopefully she gets back in, not even back in the ring, but her getting 100% healthy. And I think Dustin is going to have just one more year before he retires completely from wrestling. I think he just had a granddaughter. I think I just said that. He had a granddaughter not too long ago. So, he's still doing it. He's still doing it at a full level. Great job to him as well. But let's talk about, of course, Jungle Boy. This is the tag-in segment where I'm tagging in, of course, Jim Cornette. And we're going to talk about Jungle Boy, which is just crazy to me. Apparently, multiple fans from Manchester, England, event called the For the Love of Wrestling event were there. It was current wrestlers and legends there. Jim Cornette stated in an email that he got from an anonymous person, was talking about the situation that was going on there. And I have one in specific, but this is multiple people that were talking about this. He starts and he says that he's been a wrestling fan for a very long time. He's from Ireland, and he reached out for a comment for the attitude of Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Also, apparently, this particular wrestling fan bought a package that consists of a selfie, of course, an autograph, and voice recording notes. He first thanked Jack Perry for his attendance and asked him for a selfie and a voice recording because that was part of his package. He said that he does a little podcast like myself with some friends in Ireland, and it would be cool for him to put that on his podcast. Jack Perry responded, he will do the selfie, but he will not do the voice notes without any type of explanation. Jack Perry's aide informed him that with the young man or the anonymous person that Jim Cornette was talking about, he purchased the package that consists of him giving the audio as well. But Jungle Boy shrugged his shoulders and says he's not going to do it. Only gave him a selfie. The gentleman also asked Jack Perry, will he be booked in any matches while he's here in it's Manchester? And he responds with a sarcastic or piece of shit response saying that I won't be back here anytime soon, and continues to get on his phone. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. But anyway, later on that day, he had an in the ring he had a Q&A with a large group of people. I'm thinking it was Anna Jay there, Ruby Soho was there, and a 12-year-old asked a question: if you could watch one match before you died, what would it be? And I thought that was a legitimate question. I thought it's a question like, what is your favorite match? Like, what match would you watch if you couldn't watch anything else? It's a simple what if scenario, right? So Jungle Boy, his piece of shit, responded and said, if I was about to die, I wouldn't watch any wrestling. That would be the last thing that I would do. And it sounds so depressing. Once again, it sounds depressing, but it's a what-if scenario. It's not a scenario where you are dying. That's just how the question is. Another young fan asked Jungle Boy, who would he seek help from while producing his matches? He answers that he would only take advice from people with similar wrestling styles to himself. and who he likes and relates to. He noted that Luchasaurus is a big help with piecing his matches together, and he would never listen to Billy Gunn. Noted that he would lose his mind if he saw a Canadian Destroyer in a match, and he meant that seriously. I mean, here's the thing. Billy Gunn is not only a in ring performer, he's also a trainer there as well. So FYI. The only one more. Not only that gentleman had those three people I said. But it's a lot of more people that were talking about the bad experience with Jungle Boy. Numerous people as well in that event. He came across as condescending, jerkish, rude, sarcastic, zoned out, and many other things the fans has said. Once again, I'm not a big Jungle Boy fan, and now since I've read this, I'm not even a bigger Jungle Boy fan. Jungle Boy needs to humble himself. I know that his dad was a huge TV star, but I guarantee if his dad was still alive, he would have told him exactly how he felt as well with this situation. Dude, you got to get yourself right. You turning heel now is probably the only thing you need to do. Because man, when they tell you that, what's that saying? Don't interact with your heroes because they always disappoint you. That's what I think a lot of people are talking about. Dude, you don't even have mic skills, let alone everything else you have going on with this situation. You being in the main event of Double or Nothing. I mean, I will lose my mind if he is the champion after this match. Of course, you will find out my predictions in a couple of weeks because Double or Nothing is at the end of May. I think it's on the 28th. But man, it's here's my thing. Jungle Boy, I think Jungle Boy is a really good wrestler. I really do. Is he the best? No, he's not the best. I don't like the gimmick. I never liked the gimmick of the Jungle Boy gimmick. I didn't even know who this gentleman was until he came into AEW. Now, the thing with me about the situation that you're in a huge event where even FTR is there. Everybody that was sending out these emails about how horrible Jungle Boy was didn't say anything wrong about FDR. They didn't say anything about Anna Jay. They didn't say anything about Ruby Soho. Everybody else was interactive. They were having a great time. It was just this prick that was doing what he got to do. Here's the thing. When you do stuff like that, you get least people on your side. And I will continue to be like that. We're going to keep it positive. We're going to keep it positive. Maybe he had a bad day. Maybe it was a day where he just was not feeling it. And, he put it out on everybody else. The energy can be bad sometimes. I myself, we had a meeting yesterday, and my energy was bad. And I was to myself. I mean, it was just not a good day for me. So everybody has those type of days. We're going to keep it positive. But all I'm saying is that there should be a time where you take accountability for it. You take accountability for it and you move on. Hopefully he does take accountability for it and he moves on. I truly think that the WWE is not looking at Jungle Boy saying, this guy, we need this guy. You got to elevate, just like how Thunder Rosa was talking. You have to elevate yourself outside and inside the ring. And with that situation, I think you need to get an attitude adjustment, not the wrestling move attitude adjustment, but a real attitude adjustment. You're not a star, you're a wrestler, and you're not even, that big on the card when it comes to, of course, being the top guy. You're a pillar, and I don't even know why he's a pillar to me. He's not, I don't know. But, I hate that happened to all those fans. I wish those fans much love. I send them positive and healing energy. I also send Jungle Boy positive and healing energy. Hopefully, that situation doesn't make him the person that. Because here's the thing. Jungle Boy was talking about how Darby Allin is to himself. He's a butthole off the camera and all that. But we just found out you're that guy. You're the Darby Allin of on in events or whatnot. Come on. I digress. Let's get into the my 2 cent random thoughts segment. Jungle Boy, you suck. But anyway, let's get into the segment of course, the draft. Okay, the draft. Once again, there's a couple of things in the draft that I just did not like. I'm not feeling the situation. I will talk about it now, and then I will let it go. I got a couple of draft questions on the Axe Wrestle talk, so I'm not gonna go into detail a lot about this because I want to talk about that on Axe Wrestle Cram. I said Wrestle Talk. Axe Wrestle Cram. We'll talk about that on that question. We'll go, but I will go a little deep with a lot of the situations we have. Okay, so the Roman Reigns situation. Now, once again, Triple H said that we are getting a new world title, right? But Roman Reigns still holds the black title, which is the world's title. That's the world heavyweight title championship. So, and he's the undisputed unified champion. Unification. He has unified both of those titles. So my question to the draft, since you have a new champion now, or a new champion that's coming, and what does that mean? Did they de-unify those titles, and now he's now literally just the Universal Champion? And where does the lineage go now? Where does it go? Does it go back to the new world title, or does it stay with Roman Reigns? I mean, that's the number one question we have with, well, not the number one, but it's multiple questions we have now with that situation, you bringing in a world title. Another thing about what we're talking about is that you have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They are the unified champions, but they are exclusive to Raw. How does that happen now, since SmackDown now only has 2 titles? They don't have three. They don't have their own tag titles now. So how is this going to work with the situation? Now we'll just have tag teams on the red brand. I mean, last time I checked, you just signed over the OC, which has the Good Brothers, and you have the Street Profits. You also have the Viking Raiders. You have and let's not forget, you just signed Pretty Deadly over there, who just came from NXT. So you have numerous tag contenders over there on the SmackDown side. And how is this going to work now? How is this going to work is my question. Can they switch brands now, since they have both the red and the blue titles? It's not, the math isn't mathing with this draft. And it's just not, and okay, the only thing that I can understand about the draft is that you have free agents. You have complete free agents. I can see that. I can truly see that with that situation. But let's say, for instance, one of those free agents randomly beats the new world champion, because they're not going to beat Roman. Do they take those now? Are they exclusively on the Raw brand now, since that belt is exclusively for the Raw, the Raw brand? Like, it's not. The draft, I think, was not good. It gave us more unfortunately, it gave us more questions than it give answers to the situation. And it's I don't know if it's they're trying to I don't know what they're trying to do with this. Apparently, we're hearing that they're gonna try to softly dismantle the draft altogether. But if they do that, then you're not gonna get people on TV, and that's what the draft was supposed to do. The draft was supposed to get people that aren't getting TV time. And you're not even giving LA Knight time because LA Knight is doing a phenomenal job with what he's doing in that whole spectrum or whatnot of him being good on both brands. And I guarantee we're gonna get people from SmackDown going to Raw having a match, Raw going to SmackDown getting a match. People on NXT coming. They're supposed to be on an island by themselves, but I guarantee they're going to be coming into one of the brands as well. It's just it's a head scratcher to me. It doesn't make any sense, and maybe I'm looking into it a little harder than some other people are, but it baffles the mind how destroyed this draft is now, and I truly think that like I said, there are some things that can happen that can help it, and just like I said, we'll talk about that on because it's a question on Ask WrestleCram that I want to get into with, but this is my 2 cents, my random thoughts. Fix it. I feel like Daniel Bryan when he was part of when he was world champion at WWE. Fix it. But don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Thank y'all so much. Tomorrow, of course, you'll get the Monday Night Raw. Of course, we'll see what's going on with that tournament because the tournament does start, I think, today. The tournament starts today. We'll see what happens with that. Also, Drew McIntyre. What do you think about Drew McIntyre? Do you think he is leaving? Do you think he's going back to Indies? Do you think he's going to another major promotion? Don't forget, in the comments, what do you think? Thunder Rosa, she can see clearly now the rain is gone. So what do you think about that one? And also with Dustin Rhodes as well, her mentor, her trainer, her confidant. What do you think about that situation? Also, do you think Jungle Boy is a dick? Do you think he's a dick? I think he's a dick. Do you think he's a dick or whatnot? Also, what do you think about the draft? Do you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? Do you think it's somewhere in a creamy middle? Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Also, do not forget, get your questions in on the community tab, on the community page. Get your questions in. I think I got like 17 questions already. Go and get your questions in, you guys. Also, go to the Facebook page. Go to the Facebook page. Have a great time there as well, okay? The best is truly yet to come. The best is truly yet to come. I promise you that. Until next time, love, peace, and of course, wrestling.